Hey everybody, this is Jim the Tabletop Engineer, and welcome back to my game of Arkham Horror, the card game. If you haven't watched the previous episode, you're going to want to go watch it so you'll understand what's going on. What's really going on is Mark went a little crazy. He's out of the game, and all I've got left is Daisy. Now, the Arkham Woods are going to go away, and she, I guess she has to return to, well, it didn't say that I return to the main path. Okay, so I have to go to the ritual site. Okay, so I have to get here. And it says the ritual site can be accessed from the main path. But first, in order to do it, I've got two guys there I've got to defeat. If an investigator enters the ritual site, advance this. Okay, so it did say that, it said search the collection and spawn those enemies on the main path. Oh, they're on the main path. Oh my, Daisy's got to go through a ghoul minion and these two guys. Oh, this is not looking good. Okay, let's try it. So she's still in the Arkham Woods, so she's got to return here on her turn, which it is her turn. So she will go here, which means all three of these are going to engage her. This did not turn out as well as I planned. If Mark hadn't gone out, this probably wouldn't have been as bad. All right, so the Ghoul Minion, Herman Collins, and Ruth Turner are all engaged with me, and it's not good. It's not good at all. All right, she is now on the main path. And we're gonna. That was her first action, so she's gonna have to fight. So she will fight the Ghoul Minion first. Unfortunately, she has no fight ability, but she does have Lita Chantler that gives her +1 damage. So her fight is actually, and this goes away. Her fight is actually 2. She gets +1, so it's 3 versus 2. So she's not. This is going to be a really difficult thing. 3 versus 2. 3 minus 1 is 2. I actually did put a point of damage on it, and I get the +1 damage because of Lita. So this goes away. This Doom token does not happen. Oh, you know what? I was supposed to put a Doom token on this. And this. So that one went away. So that one still has 1. All right, so this goes away. And now she moved. She's got 1 more turn. Now, with Ruth, in order to defeat her, I have to evade her. Her evade is 5. That's going to be hard to do because I have no cards to really help her evade. The Herman Collins, choose and discard 4 cards from your hand. You can parlay to add. Okay, so I can talk him out. 4 cards. As an action, I can take these 4, put them in my discard, and I get rid of him. Okay. All right. So it's just her. Evade is going to be very hard. That was her third and final action. So on Ruth's turn, Ruth attacks with 1 damage, so she goes down a point. And I could, you know what? I'm going to assign that to Lita. Lita can take up to 3 damage, so I'll put that damage on Lita. I get to draw a resource and a card. I got working a hunch. Clues do not really matter to me right now. So, this is getting bad. All right, what was this card? All right, play only if they're... Okay, I already played that. Pretty sure I did. Yeah. All right, I've only got 1 card in my hand. That was it, because I had to get rid of 4 to get rid of him. Okay, so she damaged me. I drew my card, got my resource. We place a Doom token, and we draw an event card. Rotting Remains, test 3 willpower. I have nothing to help her with her willpower, and this is one where it says, for each point you fail, you take a horror. She's got 3 versus 3. Ooh, what is that symbol? -2, so 1. I missed it by 2, so she takes 2 horror. And it says, place 1 Doom on the nearest enemy. So we've got a Doom on Ruth. All right. My turn. All right, I really need to evade her. She will move with me. That's the bad part. If I don't defeat her, if I move and move, she just comes with me and she keeps doing a point of damage. So, and evading her is going to be near impossible. Unless I get the auto success, the Elder Sign or whatever. No, the Elder Effect, even that doesn't, it's +0. If you succeed, draw a card. So even that won't help me. How can I get rid of her? After he's evaded, add her to the victory sway. I have to evade her. I'm going to have to wait for her cards to help me. So what I'm going to do on her turn with her 3 actions is I'm going to move 1. She comes with me. Move 2. So that's 2 actions. That reveals the ritual site. Forced. At the end of the round, if there are fewer than 2 clues per investigator on the ritual site, add clues until it has 2 clues per investigator. Okay, so hold on. So first off, it starts with 4. 2 per investigator. Why not 2? Because the rules say that even though Mark went out of the game, he still counts as part of the per investigator. So at the end of the round, if there are fewer than 2 per investigator on ritual site, add clues until it has 2 per investigator. So really what it is, it just keeps feeding me clues. All right, I understand. All right, I'll tell you what I'm going to have to do. So she moved once, she moved twice, she's got 1 more action. I'll just investigate. I mean, I've got this woman tagging me here. It says fast play after you play your turn, but it costs 2. I don't have 2 resources, so I can't play it to get a clue. So I'll just investigate. There is no +3 token in here, so I can't get a 5 no matter what. So we're going to do 5 versus 3. 5 versus 3. I did get it. All right, so I got a clue. Well, these 6 went away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, sorry. I turned these 6 in to flip the agenda. All right. Those go away. And that is the end of my turn. All right, now she's with me, so she will attack me. I'll put that one on Lita. Lita now has 2 damage on her. And I put a Doom token. So now there's 3 plus the 4th that's on Ruth. And it only takes 5 to flip it. So it is now my turn. I have to draw a card. Umerdoth's Wrath. Test 5 will. For each point you fail, you must either choose and discard a card from your hand or take a damage and a horror. My will is 3 versus 5. 3 minus 2 is 1. I failed it by 4. You must either choose and discard a card from your hand for each point or take a damage and 1 horror for each point. So I can take, for each point you fail, choose or take 1 damage and 1 horror. So I failed it by 4. I did a 3 minus 2. Yeah, I failed it by 4. Okay. So I've got to take 4. I can do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 1 health left. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I've got 2 will left, 2 sanity left. This game's going south fast. All right, that's it. I'm back in the game. Let's keep investigating. I need to get... Well, hold on. It says, if an investigator enters the ritual, advance. So I forgot to do that. When you enter the cave, the air grows cold and your nostrils are assaulted by the pungent smell of blood and rot. Shuffle the encounter deck. Discard cards from the top until 1 enemy is discarded. 2, instead, if there are 3 or more players, spawn each discarded enemy at the ritual site. So there's going to be another enemy here. Man. So I'm supposed to take this, shuffle it into here, and we're going to get another enemy. I have beaten this scenario before, so I don't feel too bad. But man, losing Mark, that was a bad one. But that's okay. This is the introduction scenario. I'm really ready to get on to the more advanced scenarios or more complex storytelling ones. All right, so I keep going until I get an enemy. I got an Acolyte. The Acolyte spawns here, which means it engages with me. And it says, after he enters play, place a Doom token. So now there are 5 tokens, which advance this. A dark presence approaches, and you are assaulted by invisible pressures that bring you to your knees. A terrible force threatens to invade your mind and soul. In player order, each investigator must test 6 will. Each investigator who fails must search the collection for a random madness weakness and add it to his or her hand. Well, I know I must search the collection for a random madness and add it to his or her hand. Okay, well, that's not cool. Because my will is... I need a +3, and I don't... Let's go ahead and pull it. 3 versus 6. And I got this, which is -5, so I'll go down to 0. And it says, if there is an ancient enemy in play, reveal another token. There's not. So I'm going to get a basic weakness in my hand, which means I have to go get a weakness card and draw one at random. So hang on. Ugh, this is crazy. All right, the weaknesses are basic. It's a basic weakness. All right, so I'll do this for you right here on the camera. So here's the pile of basic weaknesses. I'll just shuffle it up and draw one. All right, let's give it one good shuffle, and then I'll count to three hand shuffles. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. All right, I got Haunted, and I add it to my hand, which means Revelation. Add it to your threat area. You are -1 to all of your skills. It takes 2 actions to get rid of it. So I'm at 2. I'm at -1 for skills. And it said, oh, by the way, Hypochondria. After you take 1 or more damage, take a direct horror. So every time I took a damage, I would take a direct horror, which would push her into insanity, because that should have happened up here for each. After you take 1 or more damage. So I'm down to 1 sanity. Never mind. It just says 1 or more damage. You just take a direct horror. Okay. So I'm hanging on with 1 health and 1 sanity. And then, so I failed that. Wow, this is really bad. The Acolyte is there with me. It advanced this. Okay. The world begins to shift and change as the ritual nears its conclusion. The air grows chilly, and the entire forest is covered in a layer of rime. The trees bend unnaturally, and their shadows lengthen into weird shapes. When this agenda advances, it's got 5. If the investigators are at Act 1, put the set-aside ritual site into play and spawn. Okay, if the investigators are at Act 2 or 3, discard all enemies at the ritual site and spawn Umerdarth. So basically, you just got to survive. These guys will go away eventually, but the problem is I've got 1 health, 1 sanity, and Ruth and the Acolyte both do 1 damage. So it doesn't matter what I do here. She's going to die. All right. She gets this one last turn, and okay. That was... Well, that advanced that. So, man. Disrupting the ritual. Spend a clue. Test 3. If you succeed, place 1 clue on this act. If there are two clues per investigator, advance. But it's still per investigator. I would have to put 4 clues on that to advance it, and I can't do it. I ran out of time. So if Mark had been here, I probably would have had the clues to advance this, which would have gotten rid of these, and it would have gone straight to the battle with Umerdarth, which is bad anyway. He's got 6 health, 5 fight. It says he gets +4 health for each investigator. So he would have started with 14 health. If you control Lita, it's only after her. You throw Lita to Umerdarth in order to spare your lives. Well, that's horrible. Sacrifice Lita to get it. All right. Well, there you go. That was a very fast campaign ending. But you know what? If you've never played Arkham Horror before, let me tell you, that's Arkham Horror. That is exactly how fast this game can go south. It's also an example of probably what I would say 50 to 60% of the games tend to be losses. Maybe even higher for some people. But that's all part of the theme. This game, not just Arkham Horror, but any game based on the Cthulhu mythos, they're just hard to win a lot of times, and they're meant to drive you crazy, and they do. So there you go. I will be back in the next episode of Arkham Horror, the card game playthrough. I'll be back. I haven't decided which one I'm going to play yet, but I'm going to start one of the 6 scenario campaigns, or is it 8? I can't remember. But the further campaigns have more scenarios, not 3 like this one. So thanks for watching me lose. Thanks for watching Daisy and Mark slowly go insane and get beaten up. And I will be back very soon with another episode. Until then, this is Jim the Tabletop Engineer. Everybody, take care.
Check out the new RPG and Wargame newsletter. Each week, the Tabletop Engineer shares news, products, Kickstarters, and much more related to the gaming hobby. It's free to subscribe, so check out the link in the video description below to sign up.